nothing has come to our attention that warrants a change. So I'm fine with it as it is.
Okay.
I just have a comment that I think there's some, I reread them and there's some good things in there that I wasn't aware of or forgot about our, like how the open hearing worked and all that, which is, it doesn't take long to read, but I think it was worth refreshing so we know what our options are up here.
Yeah, I agree. In the past when I've chaired public hearings, it is almost helpful to have a checklist. Yeah. All right. So no action is needed on that. So we can go into liaison reports. Community Services Advisory Commission. Whoever did it previously.
I'm going to defer to Commissioner Rudolph.
Okay.
He has it written on his phone.
I've actually got it
Thank
written.
you.
My wife, Lisa's the chair, actually. The Community Services, they recommended Roosevelt Park for a dog park in the area surrounding and replacing the existing ice rink. Some of the reasons were access to electricity and water were heavy factors in their choice.
All right. City Council?
No report.
Okay. I did just want to add one thing that I was following with City Council is that our Chase Bank item did get approved by them with
Yeah,
some
that's true.
changes,
I
which
did
was
watch that.
which was nice that some of our concerns ended up getting echoed by council and reflected in that
Yep.
final plan.
Yep. So it's on its way.
HRA?
Yeah, the HRA and they're also the Economic Development Authority. They did their year-end review, and it was interesting. There's pictures of a lot of the projects, but it covers many things that Richfield does with housing and rental assistance and stuff. And they also approved the preliminary plan for the agreement with Enclave Development at 65th and Lyndale on the northeast corner. And they talked about it quite a bit between the owner, the developer. And so it probably a land use thing will come before the Planning Commission at some point. But they approved the preliminary plan that we heard about at a work session.
Were you present in that meeting? Because I was curious. There was something about intended testimony from the tenants of the building or something like that that I'd heard about, but I was not present.
I wasn't present. I watched it
Okay.
online.
Yeah, I think it was good to get from the video.
But I think the gist of it was that they wanted to approve the preliminary agreement before some of those things could happen with the public.
School board.
Yeah, so construction is continuing largely on schedule and budget. They just started a new strategic plan process that will set the general direction for the next 5 years. And another thing of note is Assistant Superintendent Dr. Roby just accepted a job offer in Grand Rapids, Michigan, her home state.
Transportation Commission, the last meeting was canceled. Again, like the main topic going on right now is 494 expansion. There's going to be some changes on Portland and Nicollet north of 66th in the next year or two. Chamber of Commerce. Do you have anything?
No report.
Okay. City Planners report.
Thank you. I just have a couple of items, primarily reminders. The Congress for New Urbanism project is coming up in March. That's the week-long charrette where the Congress is bringing in an outside design consultant to help us Bloomington and Richfield, to look at the area around 494 and Portland Avenue. Look at revitalization there, connections, mobility, walkability, reinvestment. And that is really in light of those changes on 494 that are coming with the access changes, the likely closure of Nicollet and 12th Avenue, the expansion of the interchange at Portland, and then the tunnel and access via 24th Avenue. So that charrette is scheduled for the entire week of March 23rd. The website is up and running. There's a link to the main website on our website. Tiny URL for that is richfieldmn.gov/Portland-legacy. Or if you type it into the search bar on our website, you'll be able to find that information. There are two major public events. One is on the first day, that's March 23rd in the evening from 6 to 8. And then there's a final wrap-up and presentation on March 26th, that's Thursday, from 6 to 8. Mailings about these are going out. Some went out this week to businesses and property owners. The mailing to the general public, which is a much wider audience and a much larger radius, will go out about middle of next week. So you'll start hearing more about that, start seeing more articles and things like that as we begin to publicize that event. Also, a reminder, earlier in March, on the 10th, there's a work session scheduled with the City Council and HRA to discuss a proposal for 7424 Lindale Avenue. That's a small mixed-use project that's being proposed there. And then we will be canceling that March meeting. We did not receive any applications. That was the meeting that was rescheduled kind of in the middle of that charrette week to, that would have been the 25th, March 25th meeting, canceled. And then we'll meet again for our regular meeting in April. Lots of stuff coming up.
Could you just clarify with the Portland, sort of what will happen with the recommendations after that? I assume at some point this would get into comp plan changes or future concrete policy changes. What's the timeline and process after this event happens?
Sure. So this event will take place. They'll present something on that final day of the charrette, but then the designer will go back, the planners that are hired will go back and prepare a final report.
Okay.
That will be presented at the Congress, the National Conference Congress here in the Twin Cities this summer in June. After that, they really are they choose projects based on whether or not they can be implemented, at least part of it. So following that report, the cities will look to make zoning or comp plan changes to effectuate that plan.
Thank you. All right. So as Melissa said, next meeting time, work session, March 10th. No March meeting. April 27th is our next regular meeting. Do we have a motion to adjourn? Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we adjourned.